Thursday, and that means RedDriver, Mighty Midgets on the Dirt Racing Network. The dirt track at Charlotte, scene for all the action tonight, doubleheader. And we have got a lot to get to. We are going to get to it very quickly here. We're going to give you the points very, very briefly. I know they're up here. I just got to figure out how to get them open again. Don't know how I did that before. I had them all set up and then I messed it all up. So please forgive me. Here we go. Now we got them. Let's start with our Ironman points. That is the season long, 1 year's worth, 4 sessions, 40 races, 80 races. It's 40 weeks, 80 races. Right now, after 46 events, Bo Brandon with 144-point advantage on Craig Silby, 177 over Gerlach. Barros at 254 behind, and Krikorian 273. So, our season standings show Brandon Rogers with a 26-point advantage over Bo Brandon. Billy Barros is third. Robert Yankee and David Krikorian 4 and 5. They are 132, 146, and 163 in arrears of your points leader. Your points leader, the guy's got 5 wins. The other 3 wins out of the 8 races have gone to Cody Parmley since he came in. It has just been an amazing season. 2 guys that are dominating it. Everybody else trying to play a little catch up, but Bo Brennan is so close. He has been so close to breaking through and getting a win this season. We are at the dirt track at Charlotte. We have had 8 previous races here. 4 different winners. Craig Silby has 4 of those wins. Rylan Gray has 2. Billy Barros and Josh Gerlach each have 1. This is only our second visit here for 2024. We were here in the 2024 A season, and Craig Silby and Josh Gerlach split the wins that night. We will be heading to Lima Land next week. Craig Silby will be making starts number 97 and 98. He will break into the century mark in starts once we get into the month of October. So, it is race time. The boys have, man, they just ripped right through that, didn't they? They rolled right on through it. Let's get ready to look at the starting lineup for heat number 1. It is going to be the 88 of Riley Scott on pole. He'll have the 21 of Garrett Boyd on his outside. And then there goes that guy. That's going to be Brandon Rogers in the 20, row 2 to the inside, next to the 11 of Richie Gaines. And David Krikorian in the 66 will start shotgun on heat number 1. We are waiting on David Krikorian to make it 2. Krikorian, I think, has had electronic problems in the past. So if he's having an issue, there he is. Let's say if he's having an issue, it could be another electronics issue, but right now I don't think it is. Hello to everybody out there in viewer land. If you're on YouTube, Twitch, and Trovo, make sure you hit the subscribe button. If you're on Facebook, like, share, and or follow. Tell everybody we're watching the best racing on iRacing. Shout out, say hi in the chat. Let us know where you're watching from, what platform, and where you are. If you got a favorite driver, make sure you shout them out. Sometimes these guys do drop in and pay some attention to this. We're going to get rid of our pace truck. We're going to get ready to get things started right here. We'll get up above turns 3 and 4 real quick. Ready for the green flag to fall. There we go. Heat number 1, session number 1 for the RedDriver Mighty Midgets at the dirt track at Charlotte. Underway right off the bat. Riley Scott is going to grab the lead. Brendan Rogers came from inside row 2 to second. He got in front of Garrett Boyd and in front of Riley Gaines. Those two are side by side. Stack them up. They were 2 wide, 2 deep coming through turn 2. Everybody got it sorted out single file. Scott, Rogers, Gaines, Boyd, and Krikorian is right there. This should be a good heat. All 5 of these guys, very quick. They can all handle the car, and they are all capable of going up here and picking up a win in one of these. That was Riley Gaines. Thought he was going to go 2 for 1 right there. He does pick off Rogers, but wasn't able to get there. Oh, now contact. That's going to hurt. Yeah, that's going to put Riley at the point, but it's going to put Riley Scott in a bad spot. Whoa, here comes David Krikorian. I think Richie Gaines's car was damaged pretty heavily in that right there. I don't know for sure. I'm just going to say that because it looked like he was really slow and really out of shape down 3 and 4. It opens things up to about 4.5 seconds for Brendan Rogers. Garrett Boyd running in second. These guys will be in the redraw, or in the dash, excuse me. Brendan Rogers and Garrett Boyd will. Scott Gaines and Krikorian all off tracks with just a couple of laps around. We went from having one heck of a race to having attrition that took 3/5 of the field out. Thank you, Rod. Rod's down in Georgia. We love streaming around the world, guys. It's a lot of fun. We get people from just about everywhere. White flag coming out on heat number 1, Brendan Rogers. He is gone. He's going to pick up another heat win. Garrett Boyd was in 3rd or 4th right there when all of that craziness started. He's going to end up coming home 2nd in this thing. Scott Gaines and Krikorian, but our 2 still on track. They're going to go into tonight's dash. We'll see them in between heats and our feature. Don't often get to talk to Mr. Boyd unless he's on the podium. He does not join us in the chat very much, so we forgive him even though we give him a lot of grief about it. Heat 2, gridding out on the front stretch. It's going to be the 3 of Jay Schaff on the pole with John Borst in the 86 on his outside. Cody Parmley, 3-time winner in the series already this season. He starts row 2 to the inside. Next to the 71 of Josh Gerlach and Bobby Yonke in that 28 car. Getting ready to start shotgun on this one. There's Yonke's car. Flashes in. Everybody ready to roll them off. Why does it get confused every freaking week? At least it's easy to fix. So Jay Schaff has shown some speed at times since joining the series a couple of weeks ago. It looks like he is going to be the one to get us started here in heat number 2. We'll have one more heat race following this one, and it'll be dash time. There goes Schaff. Here comes the green flag. They like the start. Cody Parmley did not waste time. Boy, he saw Schaff twitch. He jumped on the go loud pedal, and he is going to get 2nd. Down on the bottom right here. Man, he got close to that tire. He comes out of turn 4, gets across the line in 2nd. Josh Gerlach. Gerlach back in black tonight. Running that black 71 machine. He's been in white for a little while. Comes to Charlotte, goes back to black, and he goes through the middle. And he takes a spot away from Schaff, move him to 2nd. Or I'm sorry, he took that from Parmley, not Schaff. He took it from Parmley. John Borst is trying to run on the high side. He wants to take a spot away too. Now cuts to the inside, and I think Parmley through the middle has what he needs. He'll secure 3rd, and he's going to get after Gerlach once again. All 5 close together, not even a full second separate, not even 7/10 of a second separating them. Gerlach is hanging on to 2nd. He got a little out of shape down the front stretch. I don't know if that's going to open the door for Parmley. He's going to try to cross over out of 2. Parmley may have the spot when we come out of turn number 4. That's way up in the fluff that time for Josh Gerlach, and he moves back to 3rd. Yonke 4th and Borst is 5th. Everybody trying to chase down Jay Schaff. Through the middle goes the 3 car. He'll come to the 2 to go signal. Parmley trying to wind it up. He cuts down. Man, he got good drive cutting down the hill in the middle of turn 2. He's going to try that again here in 3 and 4. finds the bite on the bottom. New leader at the line. Parmalee as they take the white flag, and now Big Slider out in front. And he's got the lead. He will go third to first and pick up the win in Heat 2. Schaff second. Gerlach third. Yonke and Borst rounding it out. Closefield second and a half, first to fifth. So that's a pretty good race. We'll get ready for Heat 3. Final 5 cars going to grid out here on the front stretch for us. It's going to be Mike Gebhardt in that 81 machine on the pole. Billy Barros, former series champion. He'll have the outside of the front row. Bo Brandon, your current Ironman points leader. He starts a row. It seems like all the really fast guys have started row 2 to the inside. I hang out with a guy at the real racetrack. When we work on the race car, he likes starting inside row number 2 for whatever reason. I don't get it, but he likes it. Kurt Vincent, the 19 car. I'll have that for starting position. And then Brett Wagner in the 98. He is tail end Charlie for this one. Yeah, I don't know. Man, I don't know why he always says, man, I'd rather start inside row number 2 than anywhere else. So, all right, face truck out of the way. Gebhardt ready to get us going. And the green flag. Gebhardt did not get the same kind of start everybody else has from the pole, and it looks like Bo Brandon is going to try to use that to his advantage. He just got the car too far sideways. Billy Barros from the outside of that second row, or the front row, excuse me. He is trying to use the top side. He's got the lead on the end of lap 1. So put Barros to the point. Gebhardt through the middle. Now he's going to have to fight Brandon, and Brandon gives him a little shove down the backstretch. Slid across his nose. Brandon gave him a little bump and run, and he takes second away. Gebhardt trying to fight back. He's got Brett Wagner. Old car out of shape. Ooh, man, I thought they were going to have contact left front to right rear right there, and it didn't happen. Gebhardt got the car out of shape getting into 1. He grabbed it back up. He falls to 4th. Move Wagner ahead of him. Here comes Kurt Vincent. Billy Barros now out front. He is starting to stretch things out on Bo Brandon. Brandon running that slider line, closes up, but then loses even more ground on the exit as he had to wait for the car to settle and set. Still just over a half second. Brett Wagner, quickest car on the track right now. He went about a tenth faster than the guys in front of him. Two to go in the final heat. Barros, Brandon, Wagner, Gebhardt, and Vincent. And Bo Brandon not closing the gap. It has stayed right around a half a second. He'll lose ground in 1 and 2, make it up in 3 and 4. This time the white flag. Barros still a half second ahead. He leads them into 3 and 4, and it looks like he'll win heat number 3. So he and Bo Brandon going to be in the dash here in just a minute. Wagner was third, Gebhardt and Vincent rounding things out. So we'll start rolling cars out. We know these two, Barros and Brandon, are coming in. We know that Rogers and Boyd, and we also know that Parmalee, and for the life of me, I cannot remember who finished second in that second heat. But when they start rolling out, I'll remember. We should get a lineup card here in just a moment. Jay Schaff is who finished second in the second heat. So we'll get them down here. Parmalee rolled up there. Parmalee looks like he's going to the front. Brandon on his outside. Billy Barros, row 2 to the inside, next 2. Brennan Rogers, and then Garrett Boyd and Jay Schaff. So we'll get ready to go what I think is going to be green right here. Green flag in the air. For our pole shuffle. Parmalee out front. But Bo Brannon really trying to get after him. Kept showing him that right front tire. Shoot, what did I do that for? Brennan Rogers fighting back on the inside, or on the outside, against Barros, who has the inside in that second row. That time, Bo Brannon got close. Looked like he might take the spot away from Parmalee. Tries that slider line. It didn't materialize. We'll be halfway this time. 3 in, 3 out. And it is still Parmalee up front. If you let that guy start on the pole, you are going to be playing catch-up all night long. Top 4 right there on the screen. We're coming around to the 2 to go signal. Parmalee now firmly in control. Bo Brannon second. Brennan Rogers third. Billy Barros fourth. Jay Schaff fifth, and Garrett Boyd in sixth. And Parmalee is going to pick him up and put him down again, it looks like. And he is going to have the pole. Rogers moves around Bo Brannon, and he'll be second in the starting order tonight for the feature. Bo Brannon third, Billy Barros, Jay Schaff, and Garrett Boyd. So the boys will get a couple of minutes with the track here. They'll work it a little bit more, hopefully too wide. So they'll work the very top, they'll work the very bottom, and try to put everything in its place. So when we get out here, we have 2 wide racing. The powers that be will give us the official starting lineup for the front 3 rows. And then we have 30 laps of green flag A main for show number 1. Don't forget show 2 coming up right after we finish interviews here. We'll take a short break. We're not even going to shut things down. We're going to keep it going. Second show a little different. The boys will qualify. The top 5 get locked right into the feature in the front 3 rows. Everybody else will go to an LCQ, and whoever wins that will join those 5 in that 6-car redraw. We have seen a couple of times this year where winning the B main went right into being the pole for the A main on the redraw. So we may not get us one. Yeah, it looks like they might be working on it. We're just waiting to see if we get the official lineup card, because I think we have it right, but it's always fun to get one from Race Control. The last show this week will be right after this one. And then we'll be off until Monday night. Monday Night Thunder, MARS. Pavement guys will be back with their pavement street stocks. They've got 2 races left in that series. And then following them, that's the 8 o'clock show. And then the 9:30 show will be Camus Racing Simulators, Dirt Slingers Racing League, Big Block Modified Series. They will be in round number 13? 14? Round number 14 of their 16 race season. So they are getting down to the end as well. ERA back in action on Tuesday. Wednesday still up in the air. We're sorry if you were tuning in for last night's truck race. That got canceled right just a half hour before. And we'll see if they do their scheduled show here. Here comes our lineup card. It was official. It was official the way we read it. So we do know what the first 3 rows are. Parmalee, Rogers, Brannon, Barros, Schaff, and Boyd. As we will get ready to go look at the rest of the starting grid. We're going to start back in row number 4. It'll be Riley Scott and Josh Gerlach side by side. In the 5th row, you'll have Brett Wagner inside, Richie Gaines outside. Row 6 is Bobby Yonke and Mike Gephardt left and right. And then David Krikorian will start next to John Borst in row number 7, and Kurt Vincent will have the back row all to himself. We get back to the front row. It will be Cody Parmalee on the inside. So that front row, they're going to swap inside and out. Your second row, well, that's going to be Bo Brandon moving up into the inside, and Billy Barros will scooch over to the outside. And then Jay Schaff will stay where he is, and Garrett Boyd will slide from row 2 to row 3 on the outside, and that'll fix our lineup. Couple of laps here, single file will get the green flag. They'll make sure everybody's where they're supposed to be as we begin lap 2. They'll double them up, and when we come out of 4, our pole sitter will get things started. This should be interesting. We haven't had these two on the front row together yet this season, because when Parmalee came in, Rogers was already on hot shoe. Parmalee came in, swept the night, and he went hot shoe. That started him at the back when we were at Lincoln in the session. And then those two started nose to tail, I believe, in the second feature. So they have got the front row to themselves. Bo Brennan is right there. Billy Barros. Jay Schaff, a lot of speed this season. We've had Garrett Boyd on the podium. Riley Scott. So it's a very competitive field from front to back. We do have a little bit of a hierarchy. You know, those front 6 probably. Kind of the class of, I think, for the most part. Front 5 at least. Maybe 6, 8, 7. But the front 2 definitely in a class by themselves. So we're going to see what kind of battle we get with them starting on the front row as we're ready to drop the green flag for the first show for the Red Driver Mighty Midget Series at Dirt Track at Charlotte, and we're underway. Attitude on the backstretch, and Bo Brandon is trying to take second away on the inside from Brendan Rogers, and he's going to do it. Rogers keeping the car out wide, trying to get the right rear up in the fluff. He's going to cut Jay Schaff off a little bit right there, but that was just kind of a natural move. Schaff blinked out, hasn't come back yet. I don't know where the 3 car is. Do not see him. He is vanished. Some kind of electronic issue. We're going to look back here at about 6, 7, and 8 as they are almost 3 wide getting through the corner. Up off the bottom. Riley Scott moves to the middle in 1 and 2. He's right behind Josh Gerlach, right in front of Garrett Boyd. Boyd with a little bump to the fence. That'll slow him down a little bit. Looking at Billy Barros in the 4th spot. His buddy Josh Gerlach right behind him, and Gerlach's trying to use that cut down line, see if he can get around Barros, but it's not working. Out front, the 3 amigos still at it. They are close together. Parmalee, Brandon, and Rogers. I'll tell you what, Bo Brandon likes Charlotte. We know he likes Charlotte. And he is showing it. He is putting pressure on a guy that has dominated a lot of the races since his arrival to the series, Cody Parmalee. And that time the slider didn't quite get there. Six laps in, Parmalee's led them all. Bo Brandon's been in second. Brennan Rogers has been in third. They have 1.5 seconds over 4th place. Billy Barros, who's right in front of Gerlach. Then Scott, Gaines, Boyd, Yonke. Bobby Yonke in 9th. Brett Wagner right there in the 10th spot. Gephardt, Krikorian, Borst, and Vincent. Everybody's still pretty close. We lost Jay Schaff. I think he had an internet problem of some kind. Waiting to see as Brendan Rogers is back here laying in the weeds, keeping things kind of calm and cool and saving a little bit of that right rear tire. He didn't put a ton of pressure on Bo Brandon or Cody Parmley. Josh Gerlach making a move on Billy Barros. Slide job, and Barros crosses him right back. Battle for fourth and fifth. Barros gets in, got the car cocked a little sideways. Now he's going to have company one more time. He takes the middle, makes Gerlach go to the high side, and he's going to save the spot. All of this 2 seconds behind your top three. Riley Scott in a dogfight now with Richie Gaines there. Almost contact there. That had to be close. Almost wheel-to-wheel contact mid-corner. Garrett Boyd still 8th. Bobby Yankee and Brett Wagner still in that top 10. We'll go back closer to the front because now Bo Brandon tried to take the fight to Cody Parmley. He decided to go to the high side. Parmley went down to the middle, and he was able to hold him off. We're reaching the halfway point this time by. Cross flags will be shown. Top three. 2.7 seconds in front of the rest of the field. And I don't know if the battle's getting ready to heat up or if it's already where it's going to be. But Bo Brandon going after Cody Parmley, and now Brendan Rogers is starting to get the 20 car wound up, and he is closing in. A car length this corner. Maybe not this corner. Maybe he's going to get a little here. He stayed the same that corner, but he's been closing in 3 and 4 the last couple of laps. Closes up pretty tight that time to the back of Bo Brandon. Bo Brandon now wheel to wheel with Parmley. Big slide job. Parmley could see that coming from forever away, and he crossed him over pretty easily. Takes the lead back, and Bo Brandon's going to have to get it regrouped and go at him one more time. But he's going to have to watch out because Brendan Rogers is closing in, and Rogers is now ripping the lip in 1 and 2, going in the middle and sliding the car out in 3 and 4. Bo Brandon back onto the hunt. Closer and closer, but here comes Brendan Rogers as well. We're going to have a 3-car battle right down to the very end of this thing. 10 to go this time by. Gerlach got around Barros, and he has started to stretch away in 4th. Now Cody Parmley, 0.4 of a second in front of Bo Brandon and Brendan Rogers. Those two are starting to get into a little bit of a battle. I know that Brendan Rogers wants to dispatch the 49 so he can get after the 16. Slider in 3 and 4, and he does it this time. Brendan Rogers up to 2nd. Ken Rogers close the gap and make a race out of it here at the very end. 7 laps to go. He needs to make up 0.6 of a second. Gap opened a little bit right there. I thought I heard somebody kill the wall down in 1 and 2. Got it down to a 0.5 second this time. Cut off 0.2 the last time by. Cuts it down to under 0.2. Now he loses a bunch of ground. He's got it at 0.4. Made up another 10th that lap. 36 to a 28. Still running in the 16-second bracket. That was the wave lap. 5 to go last time by. Now Parmley knows he's there. That time he pulled right alongside. Brendan Rogers trying to close in, wants to make a race out of it. 3rd place, Bo Brandon falling off. He's a 2nd off of this. Now Rogers has to figure something big out. He's lost it back to 0.6. Slider line not getting him there. Cuts it back to 4/10. 2 to go, the signal. Parmalee has led every lap. He started on the pole. Here comes Rogers again. Got the car way 2 sideways. White flag. He needs to make up 6/10 in a lap. I don't think it can be done. Goes to the bottom. Waits on the car. Loses 3/10. It's Cody Parmalee's race to win or lose. Out of turn number 4. He'll win for the 4th time this season. Parmalee picks up the checkered flag. Rogers second. Brannon is third. Gerlach and Barros 4 and 5. All right, let's get him in here. A valiant effort. He's going to come home on the podium. Bo Brannon, I don't know what you got to do, man. I know you like this place. I don't know what you got to do to beat these two guys.
Actually, I hate this place. I'm not going to lie. I have had horrible finishes week after week after week whenever we've run here. That was, I think, my best finish I've ever had here. And, yeah, it just turns into super speedway racing, it seems like. And, you know, if Cody starts out on front, it's going to be pretty much impossible to come on and actually pass him. I gave it a valiant effort, and then I think I fried my tires. I didn't have anything the last 8 to 10 laps or so, and so those guys just ran away from me. But honestly, I'm so happy with that finish. I'm impressed with myself that I was able to hang in there as long as I did, because, man, I do not like this place. I don't know what the racing was like in the back of the pack, but it feels kind of boring to me, even though, you know, I was mixing it up for the lead there for a second. But props to Cody, props to Brennan. They beat me every time. I'll sit here in third comfortably and collect my Ironman points and try to get him on the next one.
Yeah, we know you're big picture racing, and you're pretty comfortable out there, especially with Craig Silby not being here tonight. You're going to open that gap up pretty wide. So, man, you just got to keep doing what you're doing. Give me some shout-outs before we let you head for session 2.
Yeah, Varix.com for all your e-commerce needs. Mighty good marketing. I'd like to thank my wife, my parents. I'd like to thank you, Roger, and the Dirt Nate Racing Network, and Josh, Robert, and Billy, and the Netcode Esports guys. It's just a blast running every week here. So, thanks to everybody.
All right, man. Congrats on session 1. We'll look forward to see what you can do in session number 2.
Thanks, Roger.
Bo Brannon finishing in third, and now he's already got 4 wins. I don't know how many second place finishes he's got this season, but he's had to start at the back. He got to start at the front tonight, and he comes home where he started in second place. Brendan Rogers, it's just hard to get around that dude, even if you get to him, isn't it?
Yeah, man. I mean, it's really tough. Like, I found some spots I could catch him. It's tough. Like, I'd gain on him in 3 and then didn't want to really door him. So I'd slow down, kind of lose sight of him. But man, these guys are good. I thought Bo was going to run away with it the first 20 laps or so. And then I think he was trying some different stuff and fell off about a second. So was able to get second. But man, it's like, I want to make it look like, I don't want anyone to think I'm not trying out there. I was trying my hardest, but man, these guys are hard to keep up with, and hard to, if you're keeping up with them, it's, you know, you're in the line. And if you try to break out of that line, you're just going to lose time unless you absolutely find exactly what you need and can hit it every time. So tough drivers, tough race, but we'll try and win the second one.
Yeah, and it looked like you were trying a bunch of different lines out there. Was that really just trying to figure out where the grip was at, or were you making definite moves because you thought something was going to be there?
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit of everything, right? It's you know, you want to open up as many vectors for passing someone, right? So I knew in 3, these guys, you're going to have to clear them into 3. You know, you don't want to land at their door exiting turn 4. So I was trying high in 1, try to, you know, get a bunch of speed so maybe I could get up alongside him down the backstretch. It's a lot of that, right? It's figuring out passing lines. It's figuring out, you know, if I get to his bumper, where can I go so I don't have to throw a risky slider, right? I think most of us want to reduce the chances of wrecking each other. So trying to find those lines mid-race, man, you step out, half a car width, and someone like Cody or Bo is just going to drive away from you. So it's part of the game, man. It's nice to have, a couple of fast guys to race with.
Well, awesome run to get things started tonight. A couple shout outs before we let you head for session 2.
Yeah, Dirt Racing Network, as usual. You guys put on the show. The Indie Esports guys, got to thank them for everything. Kelly and my dad watching at home. Yeah, man. Like I said, we're gonna try and win another one. Try to win the second race. We'll see. I'm thinking the bottom might be a pinch better, but just have to wait and see.
All right, man. Congrats on a great start to the night. We'll look forward to seeing what you can do in session number 2.
Thanks, brother.
Brandon Rogers picking up second tonight, and now back in victory lane. He's evened things up pretty much here. But Cody Parmley, you started on the pole, and I told everybody at the outset, if you start this guy up front, you're playing catch-up all night long, and they just could not get there.
Dude, that was a tough race. I felt like Bo was so much faster than me. I couldn't figure out what line to run, what he was doing to be so fast, but somehow I held it off.
Yeah, it looked like the track was changing a little bit. Some of you guys were using the middle in 3 and 4, and some guys were using the bottom in 1 and 2. You elected to use the top quite a bit. Could you see the line moving around?
Yeah, the line was pretty much middle the whole race, but I tried the top in the beginning. It just went away too quick. I don't think the bottom was ever there, to be honest, but it's pretty much middle the whole race. I wanted to run one weird line, but I was scared to do it because I didn't want to chop the nose of Bo or Brennan, so yeah.
Well, an awesome way to get things started, man. Can you pull the Charlotte sweep tonight?
I'm going to try, but I don't know. Bo and Brennan are super fast, so I don't know.
All right, man, give me a couple quick shout-outs, and we'll let you head over to that second session and start getting ready for qualifying.
I want to thank Brennan and Bo for being clean racers, and I want to thank you for streaming it.
All right, man. Congrats on the win. We'll look forward to seeing what you do in session number 2.
Thank you.
Cody Parmley picking up the win to kick off tonight here at Charlotte. Let's look at these results. Parmley, Rogers, and Brennan, 1, 2, 3. Garlack in 4th. And Josh ran a good race. He had to battle his buddy Billy there for a while. He ends up with a nice one off the podium finish. Barros in 5th. Gaines was 6th. Scott 7th. Yonke 8th. Boyd 9th. Krikorian was 10th. Wagoner 11th. Gebhard 12th. 13th was John Borst. Vincent in 14th. And Jay Schaff. He just disconnected. I think he would have been a top 4 or 5 car for sure. Maybe would have been in there battling for a podium spot, but the disconnect killed him in show number 1. Don't go anywhere. I am going to throw up our lovely, beautiful 6 years now. 6 years on the 18th it will be. 6 years of the Dirt Racing Network on September the 18th. And this has been the same logo we've had the whole time. We're going to throw that up. We're going to put a little bit of sound in the background. And we are going to get ready to head over to... Jace, I figured it had to be something crazy. Jace confirming that it's an iRacing crash. But we're going to put a little bit of music on for y'all. We're going to get ready to head over to session number 2 when we come back. More awesome midget racing.
I wake up in the morning about 12 p.m. Too much Jack and too much Jim. My head's still pounding like a big bass drum. I reach over for an accent, but they're already gone. Another crazy night in this cowboy's life. 'Cause I do what I wanna, do what I please, and all the bartenders let me drink for free. Everybody knows my name, and to me, you know it's just a game. Well, I get on stage and give the fans my heart, singing every night in a local bar. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's hard. Today in the life of a hillbilly rock star. Now along this road, there's a lot I learned, and everything I got, I worked hard to earn. I give it all up because cause I love my fans. But if you don't like me, well, I don't give a damn. It ain't hard to see why people wanna live like me. It's cause I do what I want, I do what I please, and all the bartenders let me drink for free. Everybody knows my name, and to me, you know it's just a game. Well, I get on stage and give the fans my heart, sing it every night in a local bar. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's hard. It's a day in the life of a hillbilly rock star. Got a country swagger, keep the music turned up and got moves like Haggard. You can find us hanging out every night. It's a little bucked up, but we're all alright. Don't hurt the dream. Hey, let me hear you sing that I do what I want, do what I please, and all the bartenders let me drink for free. Everybody knows my name, and to me, you know it's just a game. Well, I get on stage and give the fans my heart, cause thanks to them, I'm a big old star. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's hard. It's a day in the life of a hillbilly rock star. Hillbilly rock star. Dying
All right, we made it to session number 2. We had to wait a little bit for an update to our overlay system. But it looks like everything is in working order. I don't know what they changed. I didn't look at the notes. I just let it do what it does. Loaded pretty quick. Kind of proud of that. So, ready for session 2. These guys are going to advance any moment now, and they will be ready to go. 14 of our 15 made it back for session 2. We'll have qualifying. 5 cars will lock themselves in from that qualifying session, and then the other 9 will go race it. 1 spot is all that really matters. If you want to get in the redraw, you got to win that LCQ. Put yourself back in that top 6. And you could work your way right to the pole to start feature number 2 tonight. Race control just about ready to advance the session. There it goes. That means it is qualifying time. We'll clear the board. Everybody gets a full reset. 000 on the scoring monitor. Drivers will start rolling out. Richie Gaines, John Borst hit the track pretty quickly. Bo Brandon rolling that number 49 now. Let's see what Bo does. He'll go around. He'll hop onto the time clock this first time down the front stretch. He is going to stay out wide, get it wound all the way up. Max speed out of turn number 4. And he is going to stay out by the fence for lap number 1. John Borst is going to be the first to post time here. Borst will streak across the line. 16:52. He gets bested. 16:37 for Bo Brandon. Jay Schaff, a quarter second off of that. Barros is out. Brendan Rogers is out as well. Let's look at Barros' time. Barros at 16:42. Here comes Brendan Rogers. And Brendan Rogers now on the time clock. Nick the fence in turns 1 and 2. That'll do it for that lap. Parmalee goes 16:05. 2 laps in, and Cody Parmalee almost 16 flat. Brendan Rogers is really going to have to work it right here to get back anything. Try to put himself in the top 5. He does not want to have to run that LCQ. Gerlach goes to 3rd. Here comes Rogers. He's going to get 1 timed lap, and he's quick time, 15:98, sub 16 for Brendan Rogers. Parmalee, Schaff, Krikorian. Josh Gerlach is the bubble boy right now. Bobby Yonke, 11th quick in his first. Mike Gebhard working on his final lap right here. Gebhard 14th quick, almost a second off the pace. So your top 5 going to be locked in, and Gerlach will get locked into the redraw. As Gebhard goes across the line, 16:73. He improves his time, but not his position. So that'll do it. Rogers, Parmalee, Schaff, Krikorian, and Gerlach locked in. We'll see everybody else, including Bo Brandon, in our LCQ. Whoever wins the LCQ, they get to get into the redraw. And they have the opportunity, I was going to say the option, but it's not an option. They'll have the opportunity to draw for the pole in this feature, even coming from that last chance qualifier. Nice incentive, and I think it's a cool little incentive to get out here and do well, even in a B feature, knowing that you're going to get in the feature, to do it in kind of a minor main. So we'll wait for the time to run out on the qualifying session. Yeah, sure. Let's do that. That sounds great. I love when everything in the world wants to update at one time. So much fun. All right, let's get ready for tonight's LCQ. We'll show you the starting lineup. It's going to be Bo Brandon and Garrett Boyd on your front row. Billy Barros and Richie Gaines in row 2. Kurt Vincent, Bobby Yankee. Row 3, Brett Wagner and John Borst in row 4. And Mike Gebert will start Shotgun Charlie. It's going to be 12 laps. The winner put themselves back into the redraw. We have seen Bo Brandon use the B main or the last chance qualifier, parlay that into a pole and have a good run. Did not win the race as Brendan Rogers did take the win, but he did start on the pole from here, and he is going to rocket away from this field. On the start, I saw Garrett Boyd go top shelf right there, and he is going to get back around Barros. Now Barros is going to use the slider line. That time, Garrett Boyd goes a little wider, and Boyd hangs on to second. Richie Gaines now. As Boyd found a little trouble down the front stretch, he's going to be 3 wide out of 2. He's in the middle trying to thread the needle. Can he go for the slider? Gaines went high. Barros went even lower. And Boyd goes back to second. Barros and Gaines right behind. Good battle. All right. In behind the leader, Bo Brandon. Brandon has 0.6 of a second on these guys, and they're 3 wide again momentarily. They'll be 3 wide coming out of turn number 4. Boyd on top, Barros in the middle. Gaines went to the bottom. Gaines shoots out in front, but Boyd comes down the hill, and they're still 3 wide. This is fantastic racing. You don't like this kind of racing, you may not be a dirt fan. Boyd grabs the spot back from both as he shot out of the middle. Now he's in the middle in 1 and 2, and he's going to keep the spot. Although Gaines has a big run, and he's probably going to go slider line in 3 and 4, does exactly that. Boyd falls behind him, now tries to get to the outside. Gaines shuts the door, and Boyd drags the fence. Look who's in the mix now, Kurt Vincent in that 19 car. These guys have been battling. He's been closing in. We're down to 6 to go. It's all Bo Brandon out in front of this thing. We're keeping our eyes on the battle for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th right now. Fantastic racing. Gaines has the spot right now, but Barros is trying to fight back, and Boyd is just trying to figure out, hey, man, how do I get back in here and get this 3 wide again? Because I was doing pretty good when we were stacking them up. Barros up the hill, almost shuts the door on Boyd. Boyd too far up beside, and he had to leave the spot open. I think they've got it figured out for the time being. Let's go see what Bo Brandon is doing. He is just out on a Sunday cruise. He's waving to the fans down the backstretch. Now he's waving to the fans on the front stretch. 3 to go that time by. He is 1 3/4 seconds out in front of the field. Richie Gaines has extricated himself from that battle behind, and he holds on to second by just about 0.8. But he is not catching the leader there, running identical lap times. The battle is for the 3rd spot. Garrett Boyd and Billy Barros racing like they're racing for 10 grand in the LCQ here. White flag coming out. It's a Bo Brandon kind of a show right now. He is Gandhi. And it looks like he's going to put himself back in the redraw. He'll win the LCQ pretty easily. Gaines will be 2nd. Who's going to be 3rd? Barros with the slider in 3 and 4. It's going to be Boyd cutting back underneath. He'll take 3rd. Barros 4th. Vincent, Wagner, Gebhardt, Yankee, and Borst. But Bo Brandon out in front. He's going back into the redraw. So a bad qualifying effort left him 6th. But he is going to parlay that into the redraw, and we'll see where he gets to. Where he gets to start in the feature. Getting messages back from race control. We're going back and forth. I told him he had to wait a few minutes for me to finish the update deal, and I get the whole it's been 84 years, and yeah. Then I told him he was wasting time. We needed to go. So now I'm getting smiley face heart kisses, I guess. I don't know. I think he likes me. I'm not sure. Not like that. We are just waiting for the lineup card to see what the redraw looked like. Did Bo Brennan have a bad qualifying session and then grab the you ain't going to believe this, folks. I don't believe it. That guy has got to be one of the luckiest souls I have ever. I'm going to get him to buy me a lottery ticket because he did it. He won the LCQ, and he starts on the front row on the pole. The 49 of Bo Brandon on his outside. Josh Gerlach in the 71. Row 2 to the inside. That is going to be the 20 of Brendan Rogers. Next to him, the 3 of Jay Schaap. David Krikorian in row number 3 to the inside. I don't know what we're doing with Parmalee, but Parmalee must be going to the back. Maybe he won 2 races in a row. That could be it. So it looks like Garrett Boyd is going to move up into that 6th starting spot. Richie Gaines and Kurt Vincent will make up a row 4. Billy Barros and Mike Geppert, row 5. Row 6, Brett Wagner and John Boris, and then Bobby Yonke and Cody Parmalee will be our final row. So it has to be Hot Shoe because he's won 2 races in a row. He closed out the night last week with the win. So he has got his work cut out for him. Bo Brennan, Josh Gerlach. Your front row. Man, that Bo Brennan, if he gets on the podium again, he and I got to talk about lottery tickets. He has won twice now that I can remember. 5 weeks. So, if I got worse memory than that, I really have issues that I need to have addressed. But he has taken a win in the LCQ and parlayed that into the pole. I will see if he can parlay that into a win. He does have that dude behind him, that guy. The 20 of Brendan Rogers. He's got Jay Schaaf back. Schaaf hopefully will not have an iRacing crash. We'll get to see what he can do. Potential was there in feature 1. But it is time for the final feature of the evening, 30 laps. Ready to get underway. There goes Bo Brandon. Good start for Bo. Battle will be behind. Gerlach and Rogers going at it all already, and they're nose to tail. Rogers got the best of it getting into 1 and 2. Gerlach is going to try to fight back. There's Krikorian working to the inside of Jay Schaaf. That's for 4th and 5th. Schaaf may be on a little bit of a heater, knowing that he had something going the first few laps of that feature in the first session before the electronic issue. He may be driving with a little bit of the red eyes. Up front, Brendan Rogers around the top side. Man, he came out of 2 off the high side like he was riding a rocket, and he is going to grab the lead here on lap number 3. Now you got to stay close because Parmalee is working his way up. He's already to 10th. Started 14th. He's in 10th already. Go back here. He's in a bunch of traffic. Kind of by himself in the middle, but they are almost 3 or 4 wide in front of him here. Vincent, Barros, Krikorian. I think that's Garrett Boyd right out in front. Oh, there was some contact. Billy Barros and Cody Parmalee have a little touchy-feely moment right there. Everybody's going to be able to continue. Parmalee stays in 10th, but Barros fell behind. Bobby Yonke got around on the high side, took an extra spot away. Up front, well, Brendan Rogers is absolutely yarding these boys. 5 laps in, and he is Gandhi. He is out to 0.7 of a second. Gerlach finds the fence in 2, and he's going to drop back a little bit further off Brennan's push bar on the back of that 49 car. Opens up a pretty even gap, 1st to 2nd, 2nd to 3rd, 3rd to 4th now, as Jay Schaaf dispenses with Richie Gaines. He goes to the bottom slider line in 1 and 2. That's something I don't see very often. Somebody intentionally doing that without trying to pass a car in 1 and 2 here. 3 and 4, that's the line you run. The one you just saw, the 3 car, that is the line. 1 and 2, I've never seen this intentionally like that without trying to pass somebody. He's losing time to the guys up front. 1 and 2, I think you either have to commit to the top or commit to the bottom. 3 and 4 is definitely that weird slider line. It's always been fast here in every car. They are out to a second. First to second now. Second to third is a little bit better. That's only about 6/10. Brandon hanging on to second. Gerlach to third. Schaffel ways back, and he's not gaining on these guys. Of the 4 front cars, he is the slowest by about 1/10. Richie Gaines still in 5th, but Cody Parmley now up to 6th, and he's closing in. We're not halfway, and he's carved his way through half this field. He's closing in on Gaines. Slider line in 3 and 4. Gaines almost spun the car out. And caution, Richie Gaines did spin the car out. I'm pretty sure of that. Parmalee will come off 2, move down to the inside. Gaines goes in. He hits this bump right there. That car unloaded a little bit. Oh, and then he clips Bobby Yonke. Spins the car out some more. So that'll slow things down. That is definitely not what the guys at the front wanted to see, because that guy right there, Cody Parmalee, is on a run. And that'll close him right up into this battle now. It's going to get interesting. First caution of the evening. And we are almost halfway in feature number 2 before we get it. We had completed about 42 laps of feature racing. Oh, Rogers, Brandon, Gerlach, Schaff, Parmley, Boyd, Krikorian, Yonke, Barros, Vincent, and Wagoner. That's 11. Borst in 12th, Gebhardt, and then Richie Gaines. Richie Gaines, the car that spun out and brought out our latest caution. Or our only caution, I guess you should say. Ready to restart. Brandon Rogers right up to the top. He's going to use the hill to get momentum. Cody Parmley used it. I thought he was going to get a run on Jay Schaff right there. Gerlach bounced it into the fence. I wanted to get down here before and get the drone cam going and follow around this 16 cars. He makes a move for third on Josh Gerlach. He's down to the bottom. Pins the car around. He got a little too sideways that time in 1 and 2, and now Gerlach under fire again. Can he keep the momentum off the top side? There's just a lot of grip on the bottom of turns 3 and 4, it looks like. Parmley through the grass. Whoo, man. Shot him up across the track. He's going to be in a battle here for a couple of laps. We're halfway, getting ready to cross under the halfway point. We'll come back to that here in a little bit. But right now, Parmley running the bottom. And he is staying even with third place, Josh Gerlach. Top 4 for the first session are the top 4 now, just in a little bit different running order. If you could get Billy Barros up there into 5th, you'd have the same top 5. Barros is mired back in 9th right now. This time into 1 and 2. Parmley really rolled the bottom nicely, and it looks like he may have an advantage here. He got the car to stay locked in, kept it in the grip strip, and he clears Gerlach this time. We are going to be down to 10 to go. Brennan Rogers, 1.1 seconds in front of Bo Brandon. Bo Brandon, a half second in front of that driver right there, Cody Parmley. Parmley started at the tail of the field. I don't know if it was for hot shoe or for back row challenge. I didn't think they were doing that anymore. Brendan Rogers looking at lap traffic right in front of him. It's going to be John Borst, I think. It is not John Borst. Yeah, it is. It's John Borst. That's who that is. Because there's Brendan Rogers right there. Rogers still the fastest car on the track. That time, almost a full 10th faster than the driver in third and the driver in second, because their lap times were 2/100ths apart. Those two running the same line in 3 and 4, completely different lines in 1 and 2, and usually we see Bo Brennan right down against the inside. He's a bottom feeder. Tonight here, he is up against the top in 1 and 2, and he is cutting that entry line into 3 and 4 off on Parmley, but Parmley kept it on the bottom. Lap traffic for your leader. Let's go watch Brendan Rogers work the traffic. He's going to come around to the wave lap this time. Goes in low in 3 and 4, slides up, and John Borst gives him room. So the wave lap, 5 to go, 1.2 seconds. Still a battle for second and third. This time Parmley with a little advantage gets the slider line in. Bo Brannon slides in behind him, and that may be the yield sign from the 49 car. The gap is under a second. Parmley closing things in. He has picked up the speed massively since we got the 5 to go signal. He's been a quarter second faster. Two to go this time. Rogers out in front. Parmley up to second. Parmley went back and started 14th. Big drive for him. Bo Brandon starting to fade late. Gerlach still fourth. Jay Schaff is fifth. The white flag is out. 3/4 of a second separating first and second. Can Parmley make up the distance? Doesn't look like he's going to be able to. Rogers protects the inside slider line in 3 and 4, and they'll split it again this week. Parmley wins race 1. Rogers wins the closer. Parmley second. Brandon third, so your same podium. Gerlach once again in fourth, and this time Jay Schaff with no problems finishes in fifth. So we'll get to talk to these same 3 drivers. We're going to have to just set up chairs up here, I think, with their names on them. So when they get in the waiting room, at least they know where to go and sit. But the same podium, the top 2 are going to be different, but third place stays the same. Bo Brannon, I don't care what you say. I think you like the place.
I still don't, but I like the finish tonight. Third place against these 2 guys. I mean, I'm getting pretty comfortable back here behind them. It was only a matter of time before Cody passed me late in that one. I knew he was going to be coming, especially after that caution. It took me a few laps to kind of figure out where it was going to be. I was running something different in the last chance qualifier, and the faster guys showed me where it was really fast. So gave it up pretty much immediately. I keep getting so lucky on these draws. I think that's the second time this season I've come from the last chance qualifier and grabbed the pole, but it seems like every week I'm grabbing the pole or the second place start. So I don't know what's going on with the luck of the draw on those, but to turn it into a third place, yeah, I'll take it.
Well, I told the fans right after that was over, I said he parlays this into a pole position for this feature. It'll be the second time this season that he's done that. But he and I got to get hooked up. We got to go buy some lottery tickets, man, because your luck is unbelievable.
Well, yeah, it's funny because I was telling Race Control earlier, like this season it's been like that, but all of the other seasons prior, it's been the exact opposite. If I've gotten into the redraw, I'm starting in the last row of the redraw. I just could never get good luck, and it's like I'm spinning it all in one place right now. So, and of course, it doesn't really matter because Brendan's going to pass me, Cody's going to pass me. Those guys are just fast, and I can't keep up with them. Props to them. They drove a great race. Getting pretty cozy sitting in third behind the 2 of them.
Well, they can't be too bad a feeling knowing what the gap is for your Ironman points. I mean, a podium's a podium, and those guys can't catch you. So,
right, they haven't been running long enough, and that's all I got going for me. So, anyway, thanks to Variix.com for all your e-commerce needs. Mighty Good Marketing, my wife, my parents, you, Roger, Josh, Billy, and Robert, even though he never shows up, and RedDriver Marketing. Got to throw their name in there too. So.
All right,
Thanks,
man. Well,
Roger.
congrats on a great night of podium racing. We'll look forward to seeing you again next week, sir.
Appreciate it.
That is Bo Brandon. He finishes third again, and now we're going to swap the top, and we're going to talk to the driver that won race number 1, comes home second. The drop to the back, was that for Hot Shoe, Cody, or did you take the back row challenge?
Oh, it was for Hot Shoe.
I thought it might have been.
I wasn't wondering. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it might have been. I thought that was 2 in a row. I couldn't remember if you closed out last week with the winner or not for sure. But you go back there, and I got to say, same thing I'm going to say to you. I said to the guy that won this race tonight here, it doesn't matter where you start, man. You just go to the front, and it looked like you were able to kind of go anywhere you wanted to in that second feature.
Yeah, I mean, I could run top, the bottom, the cut down. I really wanted to run cut down, but I did in the last couple laps. But I mean, people are fast here. This is a big track. It's hard to. So many lines are fast, so it's hard to pass. But I did it.
Yeah, and there at the very end, you kind of got into a little battle, and it looked like it was going to be difficult to get around Bo Brandon. And I don't know what you figured out there, but, boy, when you got to him, you just went right on by and started to inch away.
Yeah, like I said, that cut down line, that's my favorite line to run here. I mean, I run it so good. And if you run it correctly, you can gain super, like, you can get fast and catch the car in front of you if you run it correct. That's what I did, and it worked.
Well, an awesome night of racing, a first and a second. That'll get you off the hot shoe again, and you'll be able to, get good draw for next week's first feature. So give me some shout-outs and thank yous, and we'll let you go celebrate, bud.
I want to thank you for streaming and Josh for putting this race on.
All right, man. Thanks for chatting with us. Congrats again. We'll see you next week.
All right, thank you.
Cody Parmalee, a first and a second tonight, and now this guy goes second in race 1, first in race 2, and I got to tell you, he was coming.
Yeah, he was, man. I saw him on the relative. I kind of figured, like, I was kind of just running the same line for most of the race, and I think, again, 10 to go. I saw he was on my back door there, so I didn't know where he was running, but I figured there's only really one other line he could have been, so I tried to copy that. And
he was running everywhere.
Right. Yeah, he does that, man. He's not gonna go out without swinging. So,
well, you had a huge lead before that caution, and when the caution came out, was there a little exasperation knowing, oh man, he's going to get closed up on me now?
No, not really. I mean, when you're leading, you just kind of what your job is. Just hit your marks. You know where you're fast, and once they're on your tail tank, I think that's when you should start freaking out maybe a little bit. But no, I mean, I know if he gets next to me, I know I have a little bit of ammunition to try some stuff. I just one problem there is, like, if you're running the top from the very beginning, you're burning your tires off, and I figured he probably passed quite a few cars rolling the bottom early on, so he probably has quite a bit of tire left by that stage of the race. So if that's the case, then there's really not too much I can do other than try to slide in front of him and slow him down. But just try to hold on there, man. Try to hold on. Try something different. Try to cut down out of 2. Save some distance on the racetrack, and it worked out this time.
Yeah, I'm going to ask this because I just thought of this a couple of seconds ago while you were talking right there. So out front, trying to hang on to one, knowing that the guy behind you is kind of knowing who it is that's coming, or starting from the back and trying to race your way up there and go catch that guy. Which is more entertaining for you behind the wheel?
Well, I'd rather start in the back, and because then it's like no matter what position you finish, it's everything's up, right? Being a sit and duck out front is not fun at all, in the slightest. It's it takes a lot of concentration. So I'd say it's more fun. Honestly, it's more fun just having a few guys sliding around for the lead the whole time. But if I'm going to be greedy, I like starting last and coming to the back. And it is cool having Cody be able to rip through the field, because I know he's going to get to me eventually, whether it's 10 to go, 5 to go, whatever. I know he's going to get there. So, I mean, it's all fun. It is cool to be out front and test yourself and see if you can hold off the field, especially with these guys. So it's all fun. It's just different types of fun, I guess.
Yep, that sounds like a race car driver to me, man. Give me some shout-outs, some thank yous, and we'll let you get out of here tonight, although I do want you to hang around for a moment when we're all done.
Yeah, well, Dirt Racing Network, of course, for coming on board this season. My dad and Kelly watching at home. think they're glad to see me pull one out tonight. The Indie Esports guys, of course, RedDriver, Josh for putting the series on, all the drivers, of course. Yeah, kind of the usual suspects.
All right, man. Well, thanks for chatting with us. Congrats on a great night of racing, and I'll talk to you here in just a few.
Sounds good.
Brennan Rogers picking up the win in session number 2. He ran second in session number 1 to the guy that ran second in this session. So, I mean, obviously those top 2. I say it over and over again, but the class of the field is the class of the field. Parmalee, Rogers, Brandon. I mean, you know, and then behind that you have the Gerlachs, the Shafts, the Boyds, all those guys. So let's look at these results. Rogers, Parmalee, and Brandon, 1, 2, 3 again. 2 A mains in a row on the same night, same podium. Gerlach in 4th once again. He has 2 4th-place finishes. That's pretty impressive in this field for him to get 2 4th places. Jay Shaft did not have electronic problems this time, and he finishes in 5th. Garrett Boyd was 6th. David Krikorian 7th. 8th was Bobby Yonke. Billy Barros in 9th. Richie Gaines 10th. 11th, Brett Wagner. 12th, Mike Gebhard. John Bors 13th. And Kurt Vincent rounded things out this evening. So, another fantastic night. That was good racing. I don't know what more these guys can give to the fans. That is, that's fantastic. And watching a guy carve it from the back to the front. I don't know. And he almost got there. He was really close. What was the gap? Not much. Half a second. Another Thursday night in the books, and we appreciate you guys being here. Without you, there's no reason for us to do this. Without all the great leagues giving you fantastic racing like you witnessed here again this evening, there's nothing for us to give you. So everybody, big thank yous there. We are off until Monday. Till we see you guys the next time. Peace and love.